Good afternoon, traders. Adam Ryan here with Optic Trading. Welcome back to another market recap video covering crude oil. So some interesting price action today. A couple of key things I want to point out. First thing though, our trends still do remain up. It looks like we could be in a little bit of a correction on the daily and obviously our 5-minute. This is something that we were talking about going back a couple of market recaps on May 22nd up in here when I pointed out that I seen a market reversal, as well as the bulls didn't look like they were that strong because of the way that we were taking out the highs. So we took out a couple of 52-week highs, and we noticed that each time we took out those 52-week highs, the market kind of snapped back in. So that is not really bullish behavior. That's kind of signs that the market could be weakening, maybe need to pull back to advertise lower prices to get people excited again, or it could be the start of something more meaningful. So the only way to determine that would be to watch price action and see what unfolds in the next days to follow. So yesterday we had the EIA crude inventory number come out that pushed down really strongly, and we've seen buyers come in and step in and absorb price, push price higher. So I was thinking that we had a good chance that we would see some rotation back up, maybe even potentially try to test the 52-week highs, and that's not what we got today. So what we got today was actually a large gap lower. So when you see instances like this where the market gaps pretty substantially the other way, you got to imagine that a lot of traders are buying in here yesterday. A lot of traders buying in here, buying into the close. Now we open up with this major gap down. All these traders who are buying in here are underwater, so meaning that they're in losing positions. So what you can see off the open is that they're covering their long positions. They're liquidating them by selling out, so we can see, a sell spike down. Another thing that I seen pre-market was what appeared to be pre-market manipulation. So right in here, we pushed out of this bar, but we were really close to the level, so it could have been a legitimate break. We did see large volume come in on that, but right down in here is where I started seeing absorption. So I started seeing strong absorption, and I thought, okay, this is looking like it's pre-market manipulation. Then we pop up into here and strong sell absorption comes in. Okay, so if you guys have watched the video where I talk about the different types of manipulation, one of the things I talk about is that they sometimes do this pre-market manipulation. They start buying. Then if sellers come in, they will actually get off the gas, let price push lower, and then they'll jump in again so they can get even a better price. And that's what happened today. So they started absorbing right in here. Then sellers came in, started absorbing price. They get off the gas, push price down to the previous balance area low, and that's where they started coming in, popped up, absorbed again, and pushed price higher. So I'm going to move back to the pit session chart here and just show that this was the previous balance area low. So this was the area where the buying came in. Then we pushed up into yesterday's low, and we noticed that it really started thickening up here. We've seen some absorption from the sellers pushing price down. We try to test it again. We get a nice sweep here, so seeing if there's any new business to be done above these highs, which there wasn't. Then price pushes back in and we see some chopping behavior. Now we test this level again. So one thing to note is when we're testing levels multiple times, it does weaken the level, so there is a chance to break. So there is potential for a chance to break higher, but that's why we really got to pay attention to our price action and reading the volume and seeing where it's coming in. If we were doing that, we would have been able to see that there was massive absorption right in here, large volume building, and I'm going to bring up the intraday profile chart to point that out to you guys. So we can see right in here, this green level is the same as this down here. Price pushes up, we get really thick. We got a nice VPOC right in here, which is the volume point to control. This is the area where the most volume transacted for this 30-minute period. So we can see that we get really thick in here. Price struggles to move through. That tells us this is absorption. Sellers are stepping in at this price. And we see after the absorption, the market just tumbles down back into the low of day. So right now, it's looking like we are in a little bit of a correction, a little bit of a pullback. How far this correction goes, does it turn into anything meaningful? We don't know that at this point, so we're gonna have to continue to monitor in the days to come to see if the buyers start stepping in or if sellers really start tumbling this down. So I hope you guys enjoyed this market recap. If you did, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. That lets me know you guys enjoy this content and you want more of it. Best of luck with your trading, and I'll see you in the next video.